Hi, Maria. Thanks for doing this interview. Thank you so
It's
much.
my pleasure. Nice to be here.
Please introduce yourself. Um,
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Kitsios. I'm a licensed massage therapist, a Reiki practitioner, yoga instructor, and author of poetry. I live in New York City.
nice,
So, yeah.
nice. What got you into massage therapy, Reiki, and becoming an author?
So it's actually a really interesting story because originally I studied psychology. So I have my bachelor's in behavioral science, and I took a year off after completing my undergraduate, and I applied for my master's in mental health counseling. But I was conflicted at the same time because I always loved massage therapy. Like if a friend of mine ever felt like achy with my limited knowledge, I would give a massage. And I had a lot of people tell me you should do it professionally. And I had never thought about that before a friend of mine suggested it. So I decided to decline the master's. I got accepted into the master's program for mental health counseling, but I declined it and I decided to go for massage therapy instead. And
Wow.
then that led into the Reiki and energy work. And for being an author, I always wrote poetry. It was something that I wrote as a little girl, but I started publishing my book in 2020.
What's the name of your book?
So I have six published so far. It's a series of seven poetry books. Each one is poetry based on one of the chakras. And I started with the crown chakra. So the first book is called The Journey to Source.
Wow, so
Yeah.
interesting.
Thank
So,
you.
as far as like people, who do you typically like to work with?
So I specialize in deep tissue and sports massage usually. So I like working with bodybuilders and athletes a lot, but I see everybody. So I see from bodybuilders to like prenatal moms to be, which is obviously lighter work, but yeah.
Oh, cool. When you have a new client, how do you explain to them about massage and what it is that you do and how you do massage?
So first, I ask them about their history, if they have any injuries, any medical health conditions that I should be aware of, if there are specific areas that they have tension in, if they're looking for more of um, therapeutic or more just relaxing. I mean, either way, it's therapeutic, but some people are looking for more of just the physical, like muscular de-stress as opposed to like the psychological aspect. But it all goes together, the mind, body, and spirit all work together, anyways. So I customize the massage according to what the specific needs of the client.
I see. Do people ever get confused? Like, do they have like some misconceptions about massage that you've experienced?
I think the biggest misconception is that massage is a luxury as opposed to what it really is, which is a self-care necessity. It's incredible and works miracles for the lymphatic system, for the circulatory system, the immune system. It improves mood and sleep. It's just amazing for everything. And it helps with longevity. It's just incredible for so many different things, but people see it as more of a luxury. I think in the past few years, it's been like that. I think now slowly it's starting to become like people are becoming more aware of the health benefits of it.
Amazing. What would you say is the hardest part of doing massage for you, like your job in general?
It is physical work. So I would probably say on a day that's really busy where I'm booked like back to back, I could be physically and also energetically draining. So that would probably be the hardest part.
What would you say is the easiest part?
Connecting with people, helping people feel better, just helping people feel more relaxed, leaving with a smile where they might have came in all distressed. So it's incredible. It's so motivating and rewarding because of that.
So, is aside from that, is there anything else that motivates you to like continue to do massage?
Just the way seeing how people feel afterwards, seeing their health improve, being a part of their health journey, and the trust that they put in me. It's that's basically what motivates me the most, the connection with the other human being.
Do you have any stories that you could tell me that would capture why it is that you do what you do and why you continue? Any like thing that sticks out?
So one time I had this woman that came to me and she told me that she was having a really difficult time in her life, and she was all she seemed like depressed and teary-eyed, and then when she left she was just glowing and she had a certain calm about her. So that story specifically always sticks out in my mind.
That's nice. It's always nice when you can help people and make them feel good. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's incredible, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
So, what would you say that you wish that people knew about massage?
I would say that it has it transforms you as a person when you do it as a profession. I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking me, but as a profession, when you get like, I know for myself, when I first started up until like now, like 10 plus years into the profession, I'm a completely different person. I'm more compassionate, I'm more loving, I'm more in tune with my own body, and I prioritize my self care as well because it is a very physical work, and it's you have to be at your best to because the other person feels everything on the table, and we're all energy beings, so we affect each other on a deep level. So it always keeps me in my top game as opposed to filling my own cup.
That makes sense. Like, so do you like incorporate Reiki into your massage when you massage?
Yes, yes.
Yes. And how
To
does
a
that,
certain extent, it depends. Like if I see that the client wants more of like a muscle relief, then I won't incorporate as much. But definitely at the beginning and at the end of the treatment, I incorporate it as part of like my feeling and beginning and getting into, and then also completing at the end. So.
so how do you explain to people about Reiki? Like, how would you describe it to people?
So according to the Vedas, which are written in Sanskrit, we're composed of an energy field that has chakras. There's seven main chakras, which are basically vortex centers in the body, and each one affects something different, whether physically or emotionally. So, when you do Reiki, you focus on each of the chakras and you see where there might be an imbalance. So usually a chakra might be either overactive, and then you feel that as kind of like a pulsating, a lot of like energy coming from a specific area, or it might be more deficient where you need to like pour more into it.
I see. I
And
see.
then to get into like all the different chakras, like our crown chakra, which is our last chakra, is associated with the ethereal spiritual realm. Our first chakra is actually our root chakra, which is at the base of the spine. And physically, it has to do with our legs, our feet, our lower back. It has to do with survival, with the here and now, with the material world. So that's why it's called the root. So we work from the root upward to the crown.
That's really interesting because I know you said earlier that your books are all associated with the different chakras. So,
Mhm.
and it's poetry. I understand that. So, I would be interested to know how that how you implement the chakras into poetry, like and like each different level, like because I feel like they would have a different theme, right?
Yes. So the first one, which is the journey, so it's an interesting story as well as to why I started from the last chakra, from the crown chakra, as opposed to the root. The reason why I started from the crown chakra is because that has to do with our spirituality and people that might have passed. And the first book is dedicated to my father who passed away in 2020. So, and that's when I was writing the book during all the lockdowns and all of that. So that's why I decided to start upward and go downward. So, those poems are more talking about our connection to the divine and things like that. And then afterwards, the second one is the second book is the third eye one, which is Unravel the Veil, it's called. And the third eye has to do with our intuition and our vision and all those kind of things. So, so
Interesting.
that's what those poems have to do with. Then the third one is the throat, which is the vessel of truth. And that has to do with our speech, our expression, our creativity, um, our truth. So that all of the poems have to do more with those kind of topics. And then the fourth one is the heart, and the book is called The Heart's Journey. So
Oh,
that has to do more with love and our connection to one another and compassion and all of those kind of topics. Then it's Unleash the Warrior, which is our solar plexus, and that's the one, the willpower and the strength and the warrior. So that's why the book is called Unleash the Warrior. And then the other book is Sacred Flow, and that's the one that I more recently released. And that has to do with our sacral chakra, which is our reproductive center, our sexuality, which I see more as like a feminine. So that book is actually dedicated more to women. It talks about like sexuality for women, whereas Unleash the Warrior, I see more as like the sun, the masculine. So that book is more geared towards the men. So yeah. And then the upcoming one, I don't know the title of yet, but it's gonna be the root chakra one, which is gonna be the last of the series, the
oh
seventh book.
wow. This is so fascinating. That's so interesting. I love that. And it's all poetry. That's amazing.
Yes,
That's really
yes, it's poetry, and some of them are written more in like affirmation style. So I made it into like a type of book where you can just open to a random page and get some advice for like your day. I
that's
wanted to make it something that's like an introduction and like easy to understand for people who aren't, in don't know in depth about the chakras. It's kind of like an introduction to understanding the chakras.
wow. And then that plays right into your Reiki practice as well.
Yes, yes,
That's
it's all incorporated.
that's
Yeah,
great. That's great. And
thank you.
so my last question. Um if there's any type of people or group of people that you wish would take advantage of what you do, be it massage or Reiki, what group of people or what type of person that you can think of you think would benefit the most from what you do?
Hmm. I would say, well, someone that hasn't gotten a massage before. I like seeing like new people in the massage world because I have people who have only gone like once or twice and they went to somebody and there was like too much pressure, or because I have a lot of people who have told me that I have a firm but yet a gentle touch. So I feel like I'm good for people who are new to it because I introduce them into it in a very like smooth type of like way, and then also people who might be like psychologically need that sort of like tender and care.
Okay, so you want to help people with emotional, like get emotional release
Yes,
and to feel
exactly.
like loved in a sense.
Yes, exactly, like a
Nurtured,
nurturing. Yeah,
motherly love. That's really nice.
yeah.
And as far
Thank
as like for Reiki, what kind of people do you think would benefit the most? Like who you wish would take advantage of your healing?
I would say people that are more in their head and not in their body,
Hmm, that
because
makes
there's a lot of people who are just and they're not really aware of what's going on, internally because they're just so stuck in their mind.
so people with the disconnect between mind and body.
Yes.
Gotcha. I see. Wow. Well, this is actually really enlightening.
Thank
And I
you,
love the
Courtney.
concept of your book. I love the concept of your books. That's awesome. I really love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a unique type of concept that I created for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for actually doing this interview. I really appreciate your time
Thank you. I appreciate you. It's
and
my pleasure.
insight and your perspective. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate you. Thank